So there are so many scholarships out there. It's sometimes daunting just to think about all the different scholarship deadlines and all the different scholarship applications. What made you start, and what sort of motivated you to begin even looking for scholarships?
Well, I knew a lot of the weight for college, paying for it, would be on my shoulders, so I knew it was my responsibility to be proactive about it. And Mom, all the credit really goes to her because she was so encouraging all along the way, and I wouldn't have done half of it if she hadn't told me to, So I'm really thankful that she pushed me and encouraged me along the way and said, keep looking, keep writing, one more essay, you can do it, all sorts of things along the way.
We knew someone from our math club, and probably she was the most instrumental in, just even approaching that there were such things as private scholarships. And I thought, I don't know anything about how to even start. So actually it was someone that God placed in our life that gave us the information that we needed, and then we took it from there.
So you were involved in something in the community?
It's a math club. It's a Christian lady, but we have it at the local library. We've been doing it for a number of years, and her kids pursued some scholarships, and I had never thought about, what it took to do that. God used her to give us the information to give us that first step. And we did take a lot of our cues from her, I have to say. And so, especially with the one that Marie ended up getting, she just said, go ahead and try that one.
And you didn't know everything when you first started?
No.
I had no idea how many scholarships there were out there. Once she encouraged me to look, I was like, okay, Miss Ann, I'll go home and look it up. And there's there's millions of dollars worth of scholarships out there, really. And they're for so many different things. If you're interested in engineering, all the way to I found one if you're over 6 feet tall. You can get a scholarship for being tall. So there's just a wide variety. And it's overwhelming at first, and you definitely have to sort through and find which ones apply for you, which just takes the time of sitting down and reading them, seeing what are the eligibility requirements, what are the deadlines, because they're all throughout the year. You can have some that are due in October and some you don't have to worry about till May.
Okay. So how do you find the ones that you feel like you're suitable for? Do you write down, this is what,
Well, the first thing that I was exposed to was the websites. I went to a homeschool for high school seminar, and as a mom I said, ooh, let's save this paper for later, and that's where I got the websites. But on most of the websites you put in things about yourself, so it's almost like a pre-screening. You enter all the information, the things you're interested in, the things that you've accomplished, and so Marie had to sit down and enter on scholarship.com or in FastWeb, all the things about herself. And then they end up sending you things that may apply for you.
Now, did you receive thousands of emails, hundreds?
It wasn't too many.
Okay.
I would say maybe hundreds, a lot.
You think?
Yeah, you kind of weed through them. It wasn't too bad. You can sign up for the emails if you want to get them. Otherwise, you just go to the website and look at what they've matched for you. So the most time-consuming part would be going to the website, entering in your profile and all of your information. A big thing for me was community involvement. Anything you do in the community. A lot of them include church involvement. That all qualifies. Anything you do working with kids or babysitting, any work experience, anything that shows how you've been involved investing in other people's lives, giving of yourself, anything like that, all qualifies. And you enter all that information in, and then they go through and they'll match you with a whole long list of them. So I just kind of started at the top, and I would write down the ones that would apply for me. Ones I thought, that's way too much work. That's like a 10-page paper. I'm not going to do that. And then other ones when I was like, oh, okay, 2-page essay, maybe I can manage that. That deadline looks, approachable. I would either go to the website and add it to favorites on my computer, or I would print the application out and just kind of stash it away.
Did you spend a certain amount of time each week? Did you say, I'm going to do this for this amount of time, or was it?
A lot of people do, just because it can go on, but I don't know. She didn't do a specified amount of time. I think sometimes you would get an email, and that just, kind of spurs you on to, okay, I'll fill this one out, and then you start looking a little bit and going ahead and screening some yourself, and you may sit there for 2 hours, but it was in spurts, I would say.
I started looking last summer,
Okay, so
before my senior year.
The summer before your senior year in high school?
Yes.
Okay.
You could probably look in 11th grade, just
Absolutely.
so it's not so overwhelming, and stash them away.
So you would encourage students to do it as early as they can, but it's not too late even if it's their senior year in high school.
Oh, no.
When it comes to the volunteering scholarships, some of them are even a lot younger. There's a Ben Carson scholarship, and it cuts off in 11th grade. And I didn't know that there was such a thing. I don't know if you're familiar with Ben Carson. Oh, he's a neurosurgeon in Johns Hopkins, and he was encouraging anybody from 4th grade to 11th grade. So there actually was a little younger. But I would say most of them
Typically.
are senior year.
How did you keep track?
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Yeah. Well,
What do you have there in your lab?
yes, this is my scholarship 3-ring binder. I started looking last summer, and I did not put this together until January. So it took me a while to figure out some sort of system that worked. I would typically print out an application if I thought I would apply for it, and I'd stash it by the computer. So I did have some little files, and I would mark it by which month they were due, so that way when it came to September, I pulled out September's and kind of flipped through and see which ones I was going to do. So I did that for a little while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to hole punch it and put it in a 3-ring binder. So I just got dividers and organized it by month. I would mark or highlight at the top, what day are they due, put them in order of due date. I would highlight sometimes the eligibility requirements, what type of essays. I'd kind of print out the essay suggestions ahead of time. I would even recommend looking and seeing what the previous winners wrote. Sometimes you can look up last year's winners and actually see their essay that they wrote.
Right.
So you kind of have a jumping point to go for of what they're looking for, what type of students they're picking, how many students they're picking, if you're going to be there's only one winner, or if they pick 20 kids. So each scholarship differs.
That brings me to something specific. I know that you received 6 different grants or scholarships this year, and one of them is pretty prestigious, am I saying it right, the G.E. Reagan Scholarship? Is that sort of referred to it? Just tell me a little bit about this, the background, the story that you...
She stressed the fact that a lot of these scholarships are demonstrated need, very much based upon financial hardships or family hardships or something you've gone through. So we teased and said, well, if you haven't built an orphanage in Africa, then you're not going to get anything.
We did.
So,
and if you have 2 parents and you haven't lost both your legs, and that kind of, we're just like, well, we might not, you might not get anything, but
Right.
but this one really kind of suited her and her personality and everything. So.
And that
We went
scholarship's for $10,000
yes, sir.
a year
Yes.
for 4 years.
Yes.
We were
It is
overwhelmed
amazing.
with
We
the
were
blessing.
very
You praise the Lord and to see how He provides in different ways and different options, different opportunities that God brings along your path. I am actually so happy to have a parent here with me, and I know you probably have some insights for other parents that may help them along the road. Do you have?
Well, definitely be encouraging. Every student is different, but I would say for the most part, we have to keep cheering them on to get them to continue, because senior year can be very busy and you can get discouraged. So I tried to facilitate this, and we have to say, she and I were both up at 1 a.m. the night that this scholarship was being submitted, because we were double checking. I was just double checking the essay, looking over spelling errors, or something like that, and also just trying to encourage her, because it is, it's some work. There's work involved, but we both were sitting there when she hit the submit button,
Yeah.
and so we were excited that was finished. But so as a parent, you really have to keep encouraging if you really want it to happen. For the most part, some kids may have to do it on their own completely, but
So it's a lot of work.
it
Do you
is.
think of it as like a part-time job, or?
Well, when you think
Sometimes.
of, in this case, the rewards for the amount of money, she couldn't have made that at a part-time job. When you think of...
And it wasn't just the one scholarship, and you had 5 others. There was smaller ones, and there were the larger ones.
Yeah, there was, I think when you're saying 6, I know 3 of them are BJ grants, just because my parents were alumni.
Okay.
And then I got one for my ACT scores.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that was helpful.
Studying for the
Exactly.
ACT. Definitely study.
I kind of helped her with. I was encouraged. You have to sign up, and we just did for the ACT to get a good grade. We just signed up online and did their little practice test.
Okay, and that was free?
Yes,
Absolutely.
it's all free.
Yeah.
You just
On-
sign AC. You know, I know that a lot of people are familiar with the SAT, where you go to collegeboard.com and put your name in, and you can do practice questions.
Okay.
But ACT has the same. And then before she took it, you know, you print out a practice test. It's just great to, you know, to go ahead and give it a try at home, you know, with all the time constraints, just like you would, and get used to it before you walk in and take it. And then she did great on it. So, but you can get all those practice things for free before you ever take it.
Wonderful. It was so nice talking to both of you, and Lord bless you and your road ahead.
Thank you.